All right, I think we started right on time. Chat, are you there?
Apparently there's 23 people diligently waiting for this.
Are there really? Did I stream on the right thing? Nobody's saying anything yet.
Can't be dead though.
Says it's public and it's live, just nobody's talking. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
in here.
That's fine with me. Oh, there's Blind Eye. Hello, Blind Eye. Good evening. There's nobody here to say hello, Blind Eye, but hello.
Yeah,
All right,
trickling in.
We are definitely live. Hello, everybody. This is the Ranting Hour featuring Inkwelder, although Inkwelder is not here right now. It's a public holiday. Is that something in the Philippines? Is that it? It's a public holiday. Yeah, this is the Ranting Hour where we rant sometimes for more than an hour about various topics. So today is dedicated to
an hour.
the nightmare of an abyss we just got, and I have a lot of strong words to say about it. And no preparation here. We might get a guest later down the road. I do pay attention to chat, so I like to interact with you guys while we bitch and moan about stuff. But if you do want to make sure that you get shouted out, you can hit the super chat button, and I will acknowledge you immediately and promptly shift topics. Probably depends on what's there. Ink is here now. Oh, yes. All right, so I don't have to update my picture. Hello, Ink. Is he?
What's up?
Hello.
Hey, late.
It's because he expected me to start late. Because I usually start
Yeah,
late.
that's because I expected him to start late. That's absolutely right.
Yikes! I came semi-prepared today. I was 3 minutes early this time. Garland raging blade. Pause. But yeah, I want to talk about the abyss. I don't know everyone's feel. I think I know how Necklord feels about it. I don't know how Mino feels about it. I don't know how Inkwelder feels about it. So this should be a very fun thing. So I want to kick it off by saying I absolutely hated this abyss, and I'm ready to start saying that Abyss Lufenia has been pretty much 0 out of 3 in my eyes. It's only been 3 abyss since Lufenia started, right? Am I right?
I think so. Yeah.
I want to say wasn't there 4? Wasn't there one that it was right at the start of the Lufenia era, and we were like, "Is there going to be a Luf orb?" And there never was.
Okay, so let me revise that. The abyss that have had Lufenias in them have all been 0 out of 10 to me.
So
Yep,
from a
going there.
Lufenia perspective, I agree. So like the Luf, like repeating Beatrix's Luf, and whatever the Vincent one was, and what was that, boss rush? Was that a boss rush?
Yeah, it was a future boss rush that they tweaked slightly.
Yeah,
I think that was the best one of the 3.
No, that was the worst one.
I'm talking about the Lufenia, by the way. But the build up there was all that's a separate issue because this is the first perfectum abyss, isn't it, in the Lufenia era? Yes, you're right.
So I liked everything leading up to the Lufenia, and I was secretly hoping that the Lufenia was not Dullahan again.
I think everyone was.
That was a disappointment. That I won't deny. But I don't think that the last stage invalidates the other 30 levels we did that were a lot of fun.
Okay, you saying something? What?
Yeah, I said agreed, you fucking babbies. Every stream I watched, everyone that was talking about it before they hit the Lufania, they were like, "This is what I missed. This is the best content in the game. Having so much fun breaking out old characters." They're like, "I love Abyss." Only some of them soured their opinion because of the Lufania, and specifically what the fuck Ink said is, "This is optional." This is I saw someone say this on social media. I agreed. It's a good compromise. As in, what they could have done is they could have just removed the Yuffie cheese from the story chapter. That was 100% within their power to do.
It's not a binary. I'm going to push back on that.
Instead, what they did was make it an extra optional fight with extra rewards tied behind it. And they were generous by not making it required to continue in Abyss, which they could have done. If you go back and look at the past perfectums, there was no extra stage to the side of the fucking stairs. It just blocked the fucking stairs. So clearly, they made this extremely optional for extra rewards. It's fine. Like, they went out of their way to make it as optional as possible.
Now, I will say it's not
knew how cheeky it was. They knew how cheeky that stage was. So they, for a bit of plausible deniability, they were just like, well, it's in the corner over there. You don't need to worry about that.
Yes.
And do you know how much flack they would have gotten if they actually if they added the immunity to the story?
That would have been really
this
bad.
is how they did it
It's
in
not a
Stack.
binary, so let's not act like, oh, they did this instead of making the fight what it should have been from the beginning, because I think that's a false dichotomy. Let's not go there.
Plus, and as Chad's saying, they gradually built it up. Like, they put the debuff immunity on all the Dualahans, and you have to fight it 3 times. Well, the 3rd time's optional, and each time, even though you couldn't cheese it, you could still delay it and do other stuff. It's only the very final optional fight where they said, all right, now it has its Lufania mechanics in there.
I must say, like, the one good part of it is that it made people really fucking salty, and that was pretty. Like, people were so salty. Gordon Ramsay was bursting in and telling them to fuck off. Like,
Hey, were they
that's how
really?
salty they were.
Because I thought there would be more. I thought there would be more blowback. Let's be fucking honest. I scoured Facebook, Reddit, and MainCord, and I even asked Macnol about his own group, and everyone said it's mostly 80% plus positive reception.
I think you just misrepresented Macnol completely.
Macnol said okay, fine. Read what he said then.
I think I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of it's split between people who had Mog and people who didn't have Mog.
Okay, hold on.
Which sounds a lot more accurate.
We're looking it up.
I use Mog, Terra, BT, and Eldnarsh, and I don't see all the babies are crying about. Also, I am being 100% serious. Facts.
Well, first thing I think that's worth pointing out is that BC called that this Lufenia would be hard built around Mog, and you were absolutely right with that.
Yeah. I also want to say
that is the biggest
now,
travesty with Permanent Abyss, though, is that stages have that cynical design. It's like, it's all well and good with, like, good example here, Vincent's Abyss. Completely designed around, well, arguably not because of the cleansing, but, designed around Vincent, pulling Vincent, you'll get an easier time. But, like, why do it to a Permanent Abyss, man? Like, that's supposed to be the, like, chef's kiss, test the width of your roster, and no, they just make it.
It's the
pull most
antithesis
recent
of what Abyss stands for. So for intellectual purposes, let's not talk about the rest of the Abyss. Let's talk about the Abyss Lufenia fight. That is where my beef is with. I think the rest of the Abyss was fun, but I think the Lufenia was the sour cherry on top of the metaphorical dessert. So let's talk about let's miss out on everything. I don't want to talk about the fight being limited because I don't think that has any bearing on the design. Because if we're gonna pull I honestly hate the whole limited, you don't have to do this argument, because we could. If you'd have to be consistent and pull that for every garbage permanent Lufenia we get, and that's not really a fun thing to do. And the game shouldn't. The default should not be just skip it, because you're kind of expected to do things on release. So it should be balanced around doing it on release and not being a pain in your ass. Can we all agree to that?
Sure.
I can.
Okay. Just saying that. So I want to talk about the Lufenia specifically. And Bl'Artagnan said wonderfully on his video that the reason it doesn't feel good to play is because it takes away a lot of fun factors. There's a million things you can't do, and you're kind of hard locked into doing things. And I honestly do not think the Abyss formula works well with Lufenia. If they're going to give it, especially like,
I agree. Yeah.
If they're gonna give us restrictive orbs, like at least Vincent's orb, the sap orb, is pretty easy to get around with a spear or something. So you can work with that. So I think what I think would be an improvement. I'm not just bitching here. I'm offering constructive criticism. I think if they're gonna roll the Abyss route, they should only give us boosts for having a well-rounded roster and fitting the requirements. But if they lock us out, that's what made this stage really toxic. Because if we could bring whoever we wanted and we got rewarded, it's like we got punished for not having specific units instead of rewarded for having a diverse roster. You see what I'm going at here?
How many? Right. No, I agree, and I like the fact of like, hey, boosting spear and boosting Black Crystal. Sure. They should have made the orb inflict break. That would have been way better. That Arden and Kefka uniquely both have instant break in their kit, and there are plenty of other characters also that instant break. If they made the orb to break the enemy, that would have been way better and way less toxic. Let's be honest, the orb being water is what hurt the entire thing.
Yes, because if you don't have Mog, you're pretty much forced to use a Rydia call and Big Brain around it, which is already a pain in itself. Like, at least with the default fight, if you didn't opt for the Yuffie cheese, you could bring Garnet, you could bring Rydia in the party, and you could kind of work around that. But being specifically gated to people who extend their own buffs generally, I'm not sure if there were people, because like I think if you didn't have Squall or you didn't have Terra, is it possible without those two? Well, I guess Mog obviously, but if you didn't have Terra, is it possible without Terra, Kefka, Mog, or Squall? Because they all extend their own buffs, or in Mog's case,
probably not. I saw one fight by that like ridiculous player who's even beyond Belial level. Day in our server, who just shows up randomly with the most ridiculous fights as you've seen. He's the only person to ever pull out a 0 BT T1 clear that we've seen, and he did Noctis, Terra, and Kimari, I think, and somehow burned through the whole fucking thing.
He did. Like, wait, what? Terra, Noctis, Kimari?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Terra's got buff extension too.
Right, but not as extensive as like Squall or Kefka or.
Well, the strategy there, I tried a Terra strategy where you hold on to the your LD, you burn your LDs in the beginning and throw a Mog call in there early on and just pray that you can burst it down with Terra, and then you save the the Rydia call for the end where Terra can keep extending it and just burn it down. But you're still relying on some buff extension and rapid turns.
Yeah, of course.
Where's her buff extension?
It's on her LD.
LD only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, okay, and also I found it. So I said with the Macnil thing is what I'm referring to, but I said something blah blah blah. What did I say? And then ultimately I said, again though, people seem to love 99% of this abyss. And I said, Macnil, how did things look in your group? And then Macnil says they love the Sunday. Pretty much the same, except fewer complaints about the Lufania, because several of my friends enjoy no-turn boss fights. I'm an exception in that regard. So that is him agreeing that most people, and again, like I looked around, there is one complaint thread on Reddit, and maybe a handful of comments in the other threads, but the vast majority, was praising it. I really do think more praise is getting back to Josh than otherwise. I really think the hate is overblown. I really think the hate is overblown. It is 100%.
I think you're pulling these odds out of your ass right now, honestly.
No, I really don't think that the loot. So, and Pikachu makes a non-ban worthy comment.
Yes, no, it's always ban worthy. So relax.
No,
nope,
this is not
he's already
ban-worthy.
banned.
Saying that Kefka, Mog, and Squall Squall is, if you're a new player, you could pull Squall. But Squall and Terra are both very recent characters, both very hyped characters, might I add. And Kefka and Mog are both on banners right now that people could pull. So it is them forcing you to pull to beat something. That is not unreasonable.
Yeah, I'll stop you right there. What is it even possible to get to Lufenia if you're that new?
I would say no, most likely.
No.
Yeah, there you go. So that doesn't even matter.
Squall doesn't matter, but people could pull for. People could absolutely pull for Kefka and Mog.
Yes, but they're not going to get to Lufenia, so the point's kind of moot.
Well, no, I'm saying forget new players.
Yeah, they're talking about veterans.
Banging their head against the loot. Just go pull Mog.
Well, yeah, but and this is me being consistent again. I call out these fights when they are hilariously restrictive, and I say they're garbage. Mino knows I hold that lightning burst rate to that same standard of, wow, this was a stupid fight if you didn't bring lightning. And I consistently call these out. And I don't want fights like these because they kind of just suck. But the reason that this one's worse is because that it limits everything else. Like, even if you do have Mog, you're still gated into a very specific strategy again. And it's just awkward and annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Am I just mad because I didn't want to pull Mog? No, I'm mad because I had to use Ulnars.
I mean, like, I think you're overreacting. I agree with looking through chat in the chat that we were talking about, it looks like a lot of people.
A lot of people fucking gem revive too. Are you kidding me? That's a popular strategy. That's not good.
But I'm saying, like, okay, so like I think I agreed, like, this wasn't a big deal. Ink sounds like he's agreeing. Jin Lee agreed on this. Mark agrees on this, but
Didn't
I don't
you all run
Mark,
Mog?
so I'm not counting. Huh? No, we split it. I tried Blart's team, which was really good. Squall, Lightning, and Kimar. He did the Squall buff extension with the selfie call and Viridia call. It's pretty doable.
It's painful.
But the point is, look, man.
What?
This is what I'm gonna argue, and this is what half the people
have.
More
percentages out of your ass. I'm gonna call that out, but continue.
Okay, who? You want a list size?
No, I'm just not literally not going to make up imaginary statistics. That's all I'm saying.
Fine, 80% of the fucking people
you said okay and then did it even worse. But continue.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's the point, BC. But
to make shit up, all right. Continue.
It's okay. It's okay to have really restrictive, difficult fights once in a while, especially if it does not bar overall progress. It is fucking okay. You act like all the fucking like super hardest bosses in a lot of games don't have a singular best strategy to take them down. It's okay.
You just made that. That is not what I'm acting like at all. Nor is this.
Also,
just making this like about other games is not relevant in the slightest.
Yeah, this is the key thing, right? If this was any other, if this was anything but Abyss, I don't think anyone would care here. There wouldn't really even be a debate to have. Like, it's Squex's right to do shit like this.
It would just be a stupid fight.
Events.
Yes, thank you, Necklord.
Like, the purpose of this content has always been about like the width of the roster, not did you pull the most recent unit. Like, you go back to any permanent Abyss, and it's very much the same in terms of you see a lot of comps, even though it's geared towards, say, Lael when his X dropped, like for that permanent Abyss beta. You didn't all it wasn't all Lael in the end game fights there. So this is the dumb thing, right? The Square Enix are so short fucking sighted. They don't seem to get it. Like their eternal battle with hoarders to get them to pull. What they don't realize is that the whole FOMO nonsense of I'm gonna have to pull Mog to get through this content is far less effective than the feeling of maybe I shouldn't have skipped Kamari. You know what I mean? If they're more like, skipping this unit has come to bite me in the ass because Kamari has just been sort of MVP here with a lot of people that just pulled Kamari and forgot about him.
All five of them.
He's paying the dividends here. So if you're a hoarder and you're looking back and you're like, yeah, maybe skipping Kamari and just brushing him off was a bad idea, makes them more likely to pull like I'm forgetting the word now. Niche units with like some utility. That's the good approach. That's what Abyss is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you think like I shouldn't skip random shit all the time.
Yeah, celebrate a wide roster, not have these specific units. Which goes back to me saying Abyss isn't working with Luvenia. Go ahead.
So I don't know that you ever saw this team, but they were submitted to Call to Arms. Geoker TV did it. Terra BT, Paladin Cecil, Kane. That's what I was looking for. Was a Kane run. No LD on Kane, obviously, and that team has none of Mog or Squall or Eldnarsh or Kefka, none of them. This is a perfectly fine team.
With Terra's Burst.
They use with Terra. Come on, man.
What? What?
Someone did Beatrix, Mog, Eldnarsh. If you're not going to pull featured characters that are the best for the fight, then expect what is this isn't Chaos Era. Come on. That's not fair.
I want to back Ink up on that and address something Necklord said. Like what I was trying to say Ink already touched on, which is people are mad that they're making a push for the featured character. That's bullshit. It's just because they don't want to deviate from their pull plans. I'm 100%. I guarantee you all the people who are really mad are hoarders who plan their pulls 8 months ahead and are mad that they had to deviate slightly. And then what Necklord's saying, Abyss should be this. Well, I think that's an expectation that was thrown on there. We don't know what Abyss is supposed to be. What's the establishing pattern? Like 2 or 3? No, just one release before this. One permanent release before this. After that, it's been the temporary releases that always push the featured unit really hard, and it's been that going forward as well. All events push the featured character really hard. Transcendence, Entropy, they all push the latest characters really hard. Like that's just
Those
the game.
fights suck too, by the way.
Yeah, but that's
I
the
am
game.
consistent.
So I'm saying like, but what you're saying though, BC, is you're calling it out because it's Abyss. Abyss doesn't get a magical pass. It's just because there's all this random expectation on it to be different. People expect it to be different. It never came out and said it was going to be different. That's you projecting your expectations onto it when it never claimed to be it, is what I'm going to say. And the other thing is that Necklord, I super disagree. Necklord says, "Oh, how Abyss is effective is they should make people regret skipping Kimahri rather than pushing the newest unit." That's not gonna work. DFFOO player base are stupid idiots, and they need the slap in the face. Subtle suggestions. You should have pulled this. No one's gonna play like that. No one's gonna look at Seven and Deuce and be like, "Oh, maybe they're gonna be good for the next Abyss. I should pull this." No, they need to hit a wall and be like, "Fuck, I need to pull to complete this." That's how selling works. Not like, are you really
disagree.
gonna pull Deuce and Seven now that Abyss threw you a curveball?
He means more like you have the lurking feeling in your mind that, oh,
Yeah.
I don't have this role
consider-
covered. Maybe I
consider,
should
They
grab
can
them.
they can do both, which they kind of did this time. The
Right,
wall
consider-
for Bog and the FOMO for Kimahri. But go ahead.
Travel in time back to Kimahri. He's getting shit on. Like, who cares? It's fucking Kimahri, guys. And
Kimahri
you
sucks.
skip him. You get to this Abyss. You start seeing a lot of Kimahri runs everywhere with people using Kimahri LD for all these cool little runs. And there you are with you've been very careful with your pull plans, but you've lacked a bit on the spear unit type. Yeah, you skipped Aranea because who cares? You skipped Kimahri and all this stuff, and you start seeing them everywhere, and it's like, oh fuck, what am I doing skipping? It gives the Hoarder an existential crisis where they start to reconsider their habits, and they might actually start opening up, potentially throwing tickets at things and not getting like 4,000 tickets hoarded in summon board chests that they refuse to open.
I see what you're saying.
This is what breaks the Hoarder. But because
I see what you're saying.
all Square Enix seem to understand is just some fucking bullshit, cynically designed nonsense that's like super restrictive. I can guarantee, right? Fuck it, just go all in with the next Abyss. Let's just have the same fight 5 times, but you just every fight gradually just has more restrictions on it for no fucking like. We may as well just do that now. Like if that's like the extent of GL first content or GL exclusive content, fuck it, just go all in. Why not?
And seriously, stop mentioning Kimahri. He has an LD. Kane is EX. People can token his EX if they really wanted, and they also could have been pulling on the FF1,
Oh yeah, I meant in the context of
FF7
pulling
banner.
stuff, but yeah.
And see,
It's a
look,
fact.
Drew Sane is great. He's weighing in, and he wanted to say what I wanted to say to Negler. But Drew Sane, certain people in chat, like Drew Sane, are saying, like, why would I pull for someone I don't need for the prospect that there might be a future Abyss? I don't think that's gonna work. All I wanted to say
stupid.
was all I
This
wanted to
isn't
say
what I
was
mean.
Pull Mog.
But all I wanted to say is that their approach is far more effective. I'm going to 100% put money that the approach of putting up walls that you need to pull for is far more effective than seeding paranoia.
Yeah, I'm with Nero on this one, actually.
And
Yeah.
Oh, right. The point you're making is valid. If Abyss was the only content like this, if there was more fucking curveball bosses that had random niche things where units that you may not have considered before are suddenly good, suddenly pulling stuff that's considered shit is no longer shit. Like, possibly, maybe, who knows? If it's not just Abyss, if it's more shit like that. But no, it just has. It's always the same fucking. Oh, we've got a water element, so water orb. There's some nonsense like. Oh, and what's that? The other water unit on your bench right now is like 9 months old and isn't fit for the damage threshold of the massive HP count. Ah, fuck you.
And
Did you want to say something? Yeah.
Thank you. Well, first, I actually don't think the Hoarders are as upset. I think it's mostly the
It's
people
the
that
Hoarder.
maybe have pull fatigue because they planned on Garland and they planned on Terra and they planned on skipping Sarah and then didn't. And there's pull fatigue. That's, I think, the biggest thing. And they were probably excited to cheese the Lufania with Yuffie and not pull Mog. And all of a sudden it's like, well, Mog is the easiest way through this. I think the biggest problem with it is the damn that Arden doesn't counter the orb is the thing that pisses me off more than anything. Don't put Arden on a banner for a boss that literally is like it just completely counters what you want to do with Arden. Like that didn't make any sense. Did anyone even do an Arden run?
Doubt it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not in the
Right,
Call to Arms.
It's ridiculous. That's the thing that like really frustrates. And I honestly think it's more pull fatigue than hoarders. But yeah,
I feel like my
hoarders
original
are
point has
given
been
a
lost
rep
here.
that-
No. I was gonna bring this back to your original point and address chat. So I'll go and I'll throw it right back to you, BC. But first addressing chat is Yoshi Pasta said something that I said earlier that which was people pulled Pestle and Gabranth for a single event, but they're complaining about Mog for a single event. So I really do want to say, yeah, Ink, like I really like people are saying, oh, it's not the hoarders. No, it's definitely the hoarders who don't want to deviate from pull plans, because people were perfectly okay pulling 2 to 3 characters for Transcendence 1. All right, I swear to you, go back on the subreddit when that shit released. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm pulling Kite. I'm pulling Kites for T1. I'm pitying Pestle for T1, Gabranth for T1, Cloud for T1. A lot of people were pulling 2 to 4 characters just for T1.
And that is an inconsistent standard and deserves to be called out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's so many people like, I want to pull 3 or 4 characters to do the hardest fight, and then I'm never going to fucking use them again. And I know for sure, you guys, I know for fucking sure, I've been following Call to Arms. A lot of you guys never touched Gabranth or Pestle after that shit. So,
Gabranth is always in my party as a call, baby.
As a call, right? But I'm saying nobody fucking put them in. Yeah, so yeah, guys, no, so many people pulled 2 to 4 characters for one fight. It's so hypocritical to be like, I'm not pulling one character for one fight just because this is a GL exclusive event. It wasn't on your 8-month fucking pull plan. That's hoarding bullshit.
I agree. That is completely valid, and those people should be called out. Which is why I'm talking about how stupid the fight is, not having to pull for Mog.
Yeah, the fight.
Right.
The fight. That's all I really want to talk about. Everything else is auxiliary.
Exactly. You have some. So and again, guys, chat's going so fast, and I'm mad at BC. I'm like,
super chat if you want to pay attention and like the video.
so I'm not. I can't remember all the names, but I'm remembering what's saying, and I'm conveying it. And one of the things someone said was, it's not so much. I think it was RVK. It's not so much the fight; it's specifically the codes that make this cancer. And going back to what BC said, I do think I agree that if they're tacking on an extra hard Lufania fight on each of these stratums, they could probably afford to drop the code, right? Like if this was just the fight, and give me the same fucking stats, because for people who don't know, it's 2 mil less HP, 5k less defense.
Yeah, you can check out the stats on the City Compendium.
Yeah. So it's about 17% less HP in defense to compensate for the codes and the
lack of friend unit. Yeah. So that was a step in the right direction.
How much better would it have been if the code was Blue Spear and the orb was to break?
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. What we're trying to say, is I do agree with BC on this point, that it's getting flack, or at least BC's hating, because it's an Abyss fight. So it's the Lufania on top of bullshit codes.
Yes.
All right. I still do think that it's not that big of a deal, because eventually power creep will crush it like any other fight in the game. Even no matter how much you want to complain about, because I saw some people say, oh, Black Spear and Water, like, no matter how long you wait, it's not going to get easier. Yes, it'll get easier. Throw Kane in there with, like, Tifa or something, and, like, Titus BT, and they'll, like, smash the shit out of it without you ever having to worry about the orb. But
I'm sure Tifa and Ferris would wreck this.
Yeah. So, you wait a month or two, and you
you
can probably shit all over this fight. But I do think that maybe the codes are a little overdoing it on top of the Lufania. Maybe if they want to keep doing this, throw on the super tough Lufania without the same codes as the floor. That might have been a little excessive. But again, I'm reestablishing my position. I'm still strongly for this was fine. This goes along with all the other bullshit content. Like you said, this isn't the first of its kind. You're only upset because it's specifically Abyss. I say drop the expectations of Abyss. Like, treat it.
I have.
Yeah, exactly. Treat it as it comes. Don't. I feel like Necklord and BC are going in specifically saying like, oh well, Abyss should be this, it should be that. Like we can't. Let's not talk about what
I'll
it
die
should
on
be.
that hill.
Talk about
Like
what it is.
I'm in the full camp of leave Abyss alone. Like what are they doing?
Guys, we forgot something. We forgot to talk about what we're eating. Thank you, Silicons. What's everyone eating?
I'm ordering food right now. I'm getting boneless wings with ranch,
Boneless.
ranch seasoned tater tots.
I'm eating rice and eggs.
White
dinner.
rice,
Yep.
brown rice,
White rice.
wild rice, forbidden rice, quinoa.
Shut up. And Mino is
There we go.
drinking
Let's
and
move off
Necklord. It's
this
3 a.m.,
topic.
so he shouldn't be eating.
This topic is.
It's only 1:30. It's not too bad.
Yeah, we've spent 30 minutes talking about Abyss. And
Yes, and we're going to
when-
keep going.
No, fine. What else do you want to say about it?
Well, because I still think
I'll
we
throw in, I'll
deviated
throw in
from
a wild
the
little
chat.
proposal actually, because I don't think you should touch the codes. I think that's iconic to Abyss. But what if we take the orb and we make it more like, say, Gladio event or one of the earlier ones that didn't just instantly put everyone at 0. It's something, if you don't have the means to deal with the orb, you have to therefore mitigate whatever the hell the attack they choose is. So it tones it down via the orb rather than like taking away what makes Abyss Abyss.
Okay, and then Grand Ruby in chat saying it's sad that we have to trend when it's a trend. No, I'm biting back on that. First of all the beta Lufanias we discussed, they were 100% geared towards recent releases. One of the first ones was Lael when his 35 came out. The other one was after Zidane and Arciela, and that pushed blue daggers like crazy. Guys, it's always trended toward recent units.
Hasn't
If
been
you're
this
talking
bad.
about the... Oh, go ahead.
This hasn't been this bad. Also, I want to welcome our guest, Bl'Artagnan, into the ranting hour. Hello, Bartan. You want to introduce yourself?
Howdy, gents. How's it going?
Hello. See, Ink was trying to move
Goodness.
on from Abyss, but I wanted you to talk about it as well, so I couldn't let
Oh
him.
my God, Abyss. Jesus, yeah, no. I'm glad you saved some of that pie for me.
Okay, yeah. But sorry, let me finish addressing the chat really quick, Blart. I'll
Yes.
throw it right at you, which is basically, if you want to talk about the trend, the only thing debatable is the very first Perfectum release. That is 1 out of 7 fucking Abysses. You guys got to remember there was the FF7 event of remake Abyss. There were the 2 beta Abysses that are gone now. Then there was Normalis, and then Perfectum, and then a Vivi Abyss, a Vincent Abyss, a Balthier Abyss, and this Abyss. 8 Abysses. Only one, arguably, the first Perfectum, did they not push new characters, just because I don't remember.
That one stood the test of time as a permanent
Yeah.
Abyss.
I
don't
also
remember
want
what
to
was
say
They went to the trash after 2
That-
weeks where they fucking belong.
there's a difference between pushing new characters and making it an absolute pain in the fucking ass to do it without them.
Oh, yeah, no. It's a pain in the... Blue Dagger is such a meme now because it was so hard to do.
Well, we have a lot of Blue Dagger characters.
And then, but basically... So, no, I'll get to that, but I'm saying, like, the trend, if you want to talk about trends...
I don't want to
only
talk about the trends, actually.
Only 1 of 8 didn't push. They always usually push. You should expect them to push. Like I said, the expectations are built out of fucking nothing. You guys are assuming based on 1. That's not even a pattern. Like, that's not a pattern. That's not a trend. But the other thing is, agreed with Macnell and BC, I think, earlier, we're saying, like, this seems extra restrictive, but you win some, you lose some, right? With these event designs. That's just fucking how it is.
Boo, that's not.
That's
That's
just how
a
it is.
non
That's
point.
just how it
That's
is.
a non
That's just
point.
how
It sucked this time. That's a total discussion killer. Boo. Also, trends don't mean anything either because it wasn't. Go ahead, Ink.
Blart, go.
Yes.
Blart.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I don't know how much of this you already covered, but
Doesn't matter.
I think the first Abyss I was here for was Vivi, so I don't have all that context.
When did
going
you
into
start
this,
the game,
but-
by the way?
Jesus.
Well, okay, so I started playing back when Squall got his EX, I want to say,
Ooh.
but I quit right around the time Rydia got, I want to say C60 or so. I definitely was gone before. Like I think Cosmos was a new thing when I quit, and I came back right when Noctis got his BT.
Oh.
So I basically dodged most. Or I think I quit right around the time they dropped the very first Abyss, and I was at the time too kind of noobish to really understand what was going on. So I was like, I'm out of here. So a lot of the context kind of evades me there, but the most of the Abyss level like strata stuff with this one was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed it. It had to do a lot of the kind of, it's been a while since I've had to carry a CP35 Freya through something or something like that. But and I don't really mind them copy pasting a boss for the Abyss, like to showcase the new character or whatever.
Me neither.
Beatrix thing,
me
Marilyn,
neither.
whatever.
Me neither at all.
The issue I think I had is that it's specifically, I find the Doulahan fight design to be obnoxious, and so the fact that they copy pasted that, I was like, oh, you had to do that one. And I get why you did it, because we want to push Mog, but like, what does Mog bring? Mog brings cleanse. Okay, so they do the debuffs. That's cool. Okay, we've done some debuff orbs like Theodore and stuff. And the water damage, that's really niche, and you need to you either need to use Mog, use a really outdated character like Rydia or Garnet, or do some kind of stupid science. And I think that the big thing for me that really kills this fight for me and makes me kind of sad that they bring it back, fixed or not, is the fact that this fight has so many ways in which it says, hey, that part of the game you enjoy playing, you don't get to do that here. Like, it can't be delayed, it can't be broken, cleanses your debuffs, dispels your buffs, which personally I find obnoxious, but and it requires an element and later a black spear. Like, I think the line I used, which I'll use again here, is for a guy with 10 digits. It's amazing how many of them are middle fingers.
That's what I was like. Yes, this video's a gem.
So I guess that's my sum up here. Is like, again, yeah, you're right. Not every fight can be a winner. They're going to have duds. But this one feels like such a comprehensive FU to every kind of way you can enjoy the game. Okay, short of niche HP silence stuff that I'm pretty sure wasn't intended or something, because the way it interacts just feels kind of weird to me. It's like
I feel like to jump in there, if it wasn't intended, they wouldn't have pushed Kefka for it.
I'm going to chalk that up to dumb luck.
No. For sure.
I have stopped assigning intelligence to any decision they make. It's all just dumb luck at this point.
Like the banner that they pushed for the event, I'm definitely thinking they always had some kind of thought to it. Kefka for the silence, Arden was a miss, but I think they were trying to go for Black Crystal was boosted and a lot you get a lot of actions between the turns, right? Like,
don't even get me started on the rates, by the way. That's a whole different discussion.
Also, I don't even think Square Enix was smart enough to even consider Ridicule simply for the reason that the banner with Kefka and Arden does not come with their Crystal AE. So it's not even something. I don't even think it's something they had in mind.
I want to know who the hell play tested this fight and who they ran. Because fuck me, dude. No,
I doubt they tested it.
Come on. Blart, I think the way you referred to it was avenues of enjoyment. Does that sound right?
Angles, I think.
Angles of enjoyment. That was such a profound
really
statement. Jesus. I love it.
Yeah, so this is fine. So let's just fight Dullahans until the end of time with varying restrictions. That should just be the content for GL now.
Really, fighting one of them feels like you've been fighting them forever. So.
Yes. Absolutely. Well said. It's the fight, guys. The rest of the Abyss is fine. I enjoyed the entire Abyss up to that fight. And I'm definitely, I came up with the no codes just encourage synergy thing on the fly here, and I'm sticking with that. Blart, were you listening earlier when I said that, or did you miss it?
No, I just got here.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know how much I just repeated.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. We're just here to get your perspective. What I said was, I think if we're going with the whole Abyss thing of wide roster is encouraged and rewarded, I think we shouldn't punish people for not having a wide roster. And the Lufenia is already inherently restricted. So if they're gonna give us an orb, especially the water orb, it's the water orb just shrinks you down to so many specific strategies. Is what it the angle of enjoyment. I think I said that correctly. That I think it would be better for the vibe of the Abyss as a whole if they gave boosted stats to the ones they want you to use, but they didn't require them.
Yeah, that's that's kind of. I've been kind of doing a lot of thinking about what is kind of. People talk about there's no wrong way to play the game. Play the game your own way, and I've been thinking about that a lot, and I agree with that. But I feel like a good fight should have a low enough floor of entry that someone who just kind of pulls the synergy or whatever can get through it without trouble. But you shouldn't have to bend over backwards to kind of solve the puzzle of the fight, so to speak. You should be able to kind of find pieces and that's. So I definitely agree with you there.
Yep, and I think that if they were to encourage synergy, I'm totally for them encouraging synergy because that makes the money. But it's the fact that it's when it really feels like ass is when they throttle you if you don't do it. And I know these strategies. I'm not really quite reading chat right now, so like the video, super chat. I take myself seriously. Go ahead, Ink. Someone pick up.
No, I was gonna say the first Abyss sold Vaughn and Shantoto. It was a red-black sword orb, and I want to point out they removed a restriction in favor of Lufania. So every Abyss we've had so far has had 3 restrictions on it, requiring generally 1 weapon and 2 crystals. If you remember, Blue-Black Dagger had to be one of the most restrictive fights we've ever had because we didn't have Noctis then, and there were very few supports that were blue that healed outside of Alphino. It was a tough fight people had to use, and that was part of it. If you didn't have Alphino to heal, then you generally had to use Zidane. And if you used Zidane, then you had enough flexibility in your party because you were covering 2 of them with 1 character that you could bring a healer and a proper support with them. So those, and this is the
and there was Locke.
Abyss they've.
Locke.
I was gonna say
where they
lock
removed.
runs.
Yeah, what was that?
There were successful lock runs as well, and he also healed.
Yeah, they were very painful.
Oh, for
but,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah. I don't want to discount Locke. You know that I love Locke, but I also that was a tricky fight. I think you needed someone else specifically to get Locke through that.
That one was tricky. Yes.
Yeah, that was a tough fight. But the first Abyss that was right around Vaughn's burst, and it sold Vaughn and Shantoto. And yeah, but that said, that one was fine. I think the biggest, if they just changed the orb and they built the orb around Arden and Kefka, people would have been happy. I didn't really mind it because I had Mog, obviously, and I have Kefka. This is a FF6. They may as well have done require FF6.
Yep.
People would have been like, okay. And I think people might have enjoyed it more if they randomly threw require FF6.
Nah.
And they would have said okay, fine.
No.
I would
require FF6 and a cleanse orb. Oh,
no.
Oh, that'd be
No.
perfect.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Don't do cleanse. Blart was right? Don't the copying Doulahan, one of the most annoying bosses that we've ever had. It would have been worse though. I think if they gave us Eldnarsh's boss.
God,
just saying.
I would have had the same energy. Same energy. It's the fight. Fight. Ah!
I mean, what if they had just copied the Sayador centipedes instead and just used those, but with the require FF6? I feel like I wouldn't hate it as much, but it could just be that since it didn't happen, it looks better.
Well, heck, just do something that hasn't been a Lufenia yet.
Do something that didn't come out a few fucking days ago.
Well, no, because we had that. For example, a zombie fight. For example, that's a chaos, right? There's no Lufenia for it yet. Do that for an Abyss with an orb. At least it's fresh, Could be annoying as shit, but it's new.
I want to address 2 things in chat real quick. One, Pedro Soto, I think I'm saying your name right. Are they not pulling the same stunt with Bartz later on? I heard something about him being pretty much the only option for some fight later on. No, that is Transcendence 5, the right node, where the orb is to deal weakness damage with
Lufania too.
Shut up. What else? I think I disconnected for a second. And then John Belmont said the X-Death burst event was always his go-to on how hard sell of unit is. That was also accomplished easily via X-Death call and X-Death friend. So that wasn't nearly as bad either.
I mean, this is all you need is a Rydia call here.
Rydia call and buff extension units.
Yeah.
And a selfie call.
Yeah, well, not necessarily a selfie call.
No,
Yeah, selfie calls only
you
required for
don't,
Squall.
you don't need selfie.
I guess
Squall.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, sorry.
The Kane run proves it. Like doing Terra, Peaceful, and Kane, like
That's
I feel
so
like that
hilariously restrictive.
shows that if you have a black spear, that it actually goes pretty far. But yeah, I'm in favor of moving off this.
Okay, Bart, did you? I wanted you to talk about this, but you're also. I want to hear your opinion on other stuff because I think you're hilarious. You have any more thoughts on it?
I mean, I think I covered it. Basically, the Doulahan can suck a dick, and I hope to never see one again.
Yes, and I wish that I could remember what I was going to say. It just really felt like this fight was more of a middle finger that they didn't test very well, and I enjoy Abyss more if. I'm fine with them restricting Abyss, and if you are mad because you had to pull potentially because your roster sucked, then I don't really care about that. I think this was just a poor implementation of a fight, and I always try to be consistent and call those out when they're very restrictive. And in this case, the Abyss restriction added on made it a lot more unfun. And I think it would have been. This fight is fine. Well, not fine. The fight still sucks, but it's more manageable outside of Abyss. But it's been the trend since the first Abyss. It's just we didn't quite notice this at bed. And I think Mark and Nidra said this earlier in chat. It was because Balthier's Abyss could be done with just a 35 CP Balthier. So that didn't feel nearly as bad, potentially. It's just this one had all the angles of enjoyment cut off. And it really hampered things. And it was ironed on by the fact that I hate running consecutive turns. And it just felt like I was beating up a motionless stick, which isn't very fun.
VK in the chat has just said it's a middle finger to everyone that did the Yuffie cheese, but no, I raise you. I don't even think it's a middle finger to those guys. I think it's a middle finger to the people that were like Yuffie cheese. No way, I'm doing that fight properly like a real player.
Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. Oh, we're still going. Looks like thank you VK and Necklord, because you should have seen Belial the night this fight was released. Oh boy, Belial, I hope you're listening, because he was mad. He's like, I'm not doing this bullshit again. Belial was livid. He's like, wait, really? They're making us do that again after I just figured out how to do the fight legitimately without cheesing it? And it's such a straw man going around. Thank you. That raised a different avenue of anger. Oh, you guys are mad that you had to cheese the fight and now you had to do it legitimately. No, that is such a stupid straw man, because I promised, like, I Yuffie cheesed it, but I wasn't. What do you say to me? I Yuffie cheesed it because I didn't want to fight a bullshit fight. I wasn't going around bragging about it. I just think the fight's stupid. Why is that a point being made? And why is that, like, there's people. There were JP players saying, "Oh, Global getting what it's deserved. You should be grateful for things that didn't come to JP." The usual bullshit. God, that didn't even do the fucking fight. And not even like, at least if you're gonna talk about the fight, at least have done it. You know, like, I'm trashing the fight, but I did it without a burst, and I'm saying I didn't enjoy myself. But if you're just throwing out platitudes about the fight when you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, sit down. God damn.
I liked watching you rage for a day and a half.
Yes, because I hate using Eldnars.
Yeah, he's wiped like a dozen fucking times.
I sure did. I sure did.
Funny.
I sure did, because I had no idea how to use all the Eldnars.
That's what you get for
Pull
never.
Kefka.
That's what you get for never fucking doing the fight legit. Suffer.
Hold my dick.
It blows my mind the amount of people that are mentioning that they brought Kimari. I just thought everyone skipped him. Like, what the fuck?
Everyone did skip him. They just re-rolled. They re-rolled the spare account when Kamari banner came out, just in case he might be valuable later on.
Everyone pulls everyone. Who am I always arguing with, saying, "Oh, is this gonna be the most skipped character?" I was like, no, everyone pulls everyone. There's always a surprising amount of fucking Sayadors running around. There's gonna be a lot of Kadaj pullers. There's gonna be a lot of Queen pullers. People are gonna pull everything. Like, every character is gonna make money. There's no character that they need to. People are like, "Oh, Square Enix should learn its lesson." Like Sarah, they need to buff Sarah to get people to pull her. No, guys, people are gonna pull Sarah regardless. Let's be fucking.
They were like Ink.
Like, there's so
Ink
many
and Jim
people,
were gonna pull regardless.
Yeah, not only are there so many people not on Reddit and Discord, normal people who will pull the character and not do the research and enjoy them anyways, and not do the hardest content, but there are also hipsters who will pull. There are also people who pull for faves,
Yep.
and then there are also people who say they'll skip banners but have never skipped a banner in their life.
Yeah, lying like shit.
Yeah,
But
there's,
also, like,
there's a lot of you with
Seven-
the PPC channel guys. Like,
The
come
thing
on.
with Seven, like, she doesn't have a costume, so that's just not even worth the dev time
I would have
reworking her.
pulled, I
Let's
would
be
have pulled
honest.
7 if I gave her a costume, being real.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that pulled 7 too. Like, come on, guys, stop fucking lying.
The thing is, I think
I pulled 7 and I'm mad. I only did it because I was gonna purple her sphere because I want her sphere for Saban. And I
it's a great
pulled
sphere
extra
from you.
so that I could get more copies of her EX to give duplicate spheres to Saban.
That's a new level of
Interesting.
disease.
Look at this dude.
New
Yeah,
level
that's-
of disease, pulling a character just for the sphere. I thought we made a
that
joke.
sphere is godly on him, though.
I thought we were joking about
I
it.
know it is. It's amazing on him. So I pulled 7 and she doesn't even feel good to use in a single target boss fight in Synergy.
Oh dear.
Yike. That's a take.
That I used her for the I tried to do the Behemoth stage with like her, Bosch, and Garland, and I got so tired of her kit in the middle that I just stopped the fight, swapped her out for Aranea, and used Mog instead of Bosch, and I just clapped it. I was like, God, that was so much more fun than the like 50 turns I was spending freaking sitting there with 7.
By the
So,
way, don't
yeah.
think I didn't notice you changed the topics, you sneaky motherfucker. I'm still mad.
You bet.
I'm still mad.
Makes sense. 7 being shit is just an advertisement for Mog.
Can't divert me. I really do hate the smarmy people saying, "Oh, you gotta do the fight legit now," and then they just cheese it anyways. So if you do that, you're a cornball. You're not special.
I'm calling you out.
Me?
Let's throw hands, yeah.
Oh, what are you calling out?
I did the fight, and I can be smarmy to you about struggling on the fight.
Because I just learned to use Eldnar's.
Yeah, dog, you should have been prepared like me.
See, you didn't pull Kefka?
I used Kefka, and I did multiple runs of this. I did the Aranea, Eld, and a Squall strategy. I did a couple runs on it just to
Lord,
get a level perspective.
Yeah, Bl'Art, I was saying earlier, I stole your run for my non-Mog Terra run. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Thanks. I'm glad it worked for you. That's
The worst
resource for the
people,
community.
as BC say, the worst people are Mark, who is acting smarmy and not doing a non-Mog, non-Terra run. Mark, I hope you're still listening. The only reason I'm antagonizing you is because Mark in the mod chat was a huge proponent of it's not that bad, guys. Like, you could use any of these characters. And it's like, all right, Mark, do it then. Like, run it without Mog or Terra. And he's like, nah, guys, I'm good. Like,
I'm
no,
all about
Mark, you're the enemy.
perspective. Like,
You're
I
the enemy,
understand that
Mark.
you can clap it with the best characters, but
Yeah,
I
do
think
it
about
for
those
research.
people who don't have them and how much of a pain in the fucking ass it is. And I don't like pain. Like, I like again, it's okay to push a unit. I'm all for that. They got to make bank somehow. That's fine. But when you make it such a hurdle to not do it, and you add on the restrictions, like I think they should, again, that's my ultimate constructive criticism, boost the ones you're trying to sell, but don't punish us for not having them as hard, especially when it's such a restrictive fight like this one. I think
what
that's
do
fair
you-
to say.
When do you Go ahead, Bl'Art.
Oh, sorry. That was kind of my issue with. Excuse me. My issue with this fight from the get-go was that the experience of the fight isn't fun. It every kind of stage of the fight is another feeling of like, oh well, this doesn't feel good. Oh, this doesn't feel good. Oh, this doesn't feel good. And so,
Oh boy.
the fact that the fact that you need to do something like pull Mog to get through kind of quote unquote, legit, or like, I don't know, I'm comparing that right now to the Behemoth fight we're having now, and I took Garland Lightning and clapped it. It was like, oh, cool, that was great, that was easy. And then I went back in with some other teams. It was like, oh, this is okay. Here are the different angles of the fight. Here are the different pieces of the fight. Okay, here are the parts of the fight that can trip you up. And there were parts of the fight where it felt fun to do, and there were parts of the fight where like, oh, okay, the mannequin killed me. That sucked, but I feel like I'm engaging with the fight and not just bashing my face against a skeleton who doesn't care what I do. He's going to do something to ruin my day every turn.
Or lock it down and just beat up on it for like a half hour.
That's fine, Bl'Art, but as somebody said to me before about a similar topic, that's subjective about what is engaging
Yeah.
to you personally and what is fun to you personally. It is subjective because
Yes.
I remember we brought this
That
up.
is true.
We brought this up last
Mhm.
week, and I said, I think I said like, oh, Tara is such a boring fucking character. And then people in
Yes,
chat were
she
like,
is.
yeah, but people in chat were like, well, fun is subjective. I like,
Dres, I got you in a minute, by the way.
yeah. I'm getting to you, Dres, too. Like people are, oh, I love when I dominate the boss so hard they can't do anything, or like doing 1,000,000 damage in a turn or something. And I'm like, I guess, you're right. Like, not fun for me, but other people can like it. Different types of content have to exist. There's not
Yes.
going to be the game is never going to have 100% content that's satisfactory to you. It's got to hit all sorts of different audiences.
Agreed.
So like that's why I said I'm very on the side of I'm okay with this fight. Is it my favorite fight? No, but I'm not going to hate on it just because I didn't personally find it engaging. So I'm saying like it's okay that once in a while they throw in fights where you're supposed to no turn the boss.
And I understand that completely. It's just that the balance for something that was global specific, I think, deserved a little bit more care.
That's fair. And to address Dres's question, what do you guys think about Square Enix's lack of diversity in the Final Fantasy characters? And Fran is not black.
Yeah, that's a comment I made on my poll. I got this. I said it on my poll video. No, shut up. It's my stream, bitch. Calm down. Because it's my comment. I said on my poll video. I said Fran is black. It's an inside joke. I've been claiming everybody recently. Like I said, Jegrin's black. Saz is obviously black. Titus and Jekt. they're all. Well, Titus is a light skin. Jekt is black. There's a whole league of black characters that you guys don't know are black. Like
sort of.
Kane is black too, by the way. Because he's Piccolo. Because it's an analog. So Piccolo is black. But so by analog, that makes Kane black. He's the black uncle. Don't read too much into it, guys. Please. It's a joke.
Okay, and my answer, Dres, is I don't care. I don't. I mean, I guess some people do care, but like, if we're gonna get into
Raijin's black. No, we're not gonna get into it. Actually,
we're getting into it.
No, we're not.
We're gonna get into it. The thing is, like,
no, because if you're gonna get into it, I'm gonna pull it's almost been an hour and we can be finished. So don't do that.
You shouldn't expect other works and other people to do the diversity thing. They're doing their own thing. It's diverse or not. It's like, oh no, that ties into the content.
So let's talk about 7.
That ties into content discussion. You're not going to please everyone, right? Like, it's out there. You either like it or you don't. It's subjective.
Seven brings diversity to the cast because she has an underwhelming kid that didn't get a global first rework.
Exactly.
Right?
Thank you for pointing that out. Why didn't 7 get a rework? They could have sold her with a costume. They could have made her hot shit, and now they made her ass. She's got the gorgeous summer costume. Dear God. Where's Seiss, by the way?
Also, yeah, I didn't think it possible, but Square Enix has managed to somehow close Pandora's box. How have they done that? They opened it with Sarah, and it's just closed now. What's going on?
Damn.
I keep telling
I
people that's not fucking Fury. We're not gonna. That was a one-off.
It was a one-off, so I have no expectations.
That was a one-off. JP specifically said we just happen to be working on Sarah right now on JP, and we said, oh, let's throw some of these there. Some content creator, I forgot who. I am so fucking pissed. There is some YouTube content creator that's kind of big, and if I remembered your fucking name, I would call you out so hard right now. But it was like, oh, so GL gets leftovers. We only get part of the JP rework that's coming for Sarah. And I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. You son of a bitch. What is wrong with you? I forgot who it was. But holy, somebody said that. Somebody said that was the hottest thing.
That makes negative sense.
I'm guessing they're the same kind of. They probably also were asking for the Sephiroth rework when they dropped his LGBT, right?
I don't know. I don't remember who it was now.
I can only assume that's.
But anyways, BC, the point is, I knew where I was going with that rant. Okay, I can keep it.
No.
PG.
Nope.
SFW.
Hey, Garland of PCP is here. The Gabrant stand that stopped uploading Gabrant videos. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? I always call him out on that, and he can't do anything. He just takes the L.
Do calls count?
Gallon's great.
Yeah, Gallon's hilarious. All I wanted. How are you gonna screw up a character so bad? You're gonna make a bunch of degenerate weebs skip a schoolgirl's silver hair. Damn.
Y'all still pulled. I
Damn.
see.
Nah,
Fucking,
I ain't pull shit. I pulled the free pull, my guy. And I
GL
bounced.
GL pull channel. We got a lot of 7s in here. Fucking Ink pulled 7, and he said that 7 was.
Ink is capped on tickets.
He said the worst LD ever.
No, I think he said that about Fujin.
No, he said 7. He said 7.
Oh.
No. Fujin's a travesty. 7 is fine.
Okay.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, do we have receipts on hand?
Here's the code. I got the receipts right here.
All right.
No. Well, that's fine. If you have receipts, that's okay. But yeah, I mean, I pulled 7 because I knew that I was purpling her for her sphere, and so I was like, all right, cool. If I get the LD, I've got plenty of power stones, and I'm capped on tickets, and there's a bug in the game that's not letting me claim tickets.
It's fixed.
And so I was like, forget it. I'm not gonna be stuck with ticket cap crap. I'm tired of that, so I just dumped a bunch of tickets on her and removed the cap, got her LD, and yeah, I will probably try to lock her in Transcendence 2 on the left side with Garland, because that's a mostly single target fight.
I see.
And I feel like that should be allowed, and at least I'm throwing her in a Transcendence stage, so that's good.
It's
yeah,
pretty
Fujin
well-versed
is a
rationalization,
disaster.
but Fujin's pretty bad.
For our next really good topic. Hold on.
Next topic. It's 9:01. We're
Wait,
winding
the
down.
next topic isn't about the banner rates?
No, the next topic
Oh
is...
God, it is about the banner rates. Yes.
Trying to...
Yes, it is. Ink. Let me hear what you think on the banner rates.
Well, so I've slightly changed my position from where it was. My original position was, hey, these banners are old characters, and these characters don't get any updates. Kefka and Arden don't get updates. You shouldn't pull the banner anyway. So the fact that we get free pulls on them just means you can potentially get these characters for when they do get updates. That's great. However, my position changed because just from having conversations on Discord, for people that don't know, that aren't really aware of updates or anything, and maybe they missed Arden previously or they missed Kefka previously, and those are favorite characters to them, these banners are straight predatory. There's no reason to make it half, but I also recognize that they reran these banners and there were no free pulls across any of them. We get 4 free pulls on each, and the people that were probably I guess the banner was predatory too, they pitied Arden's BT on the first day without using the other 3 free pulls. So honestly, they deserve to be get the predatory type against them for making a bad decision. But that's sort of where I'm at on it. I
think deceiving people and then saying, "Oh, you should have known better," is not a good thing to do. Additionally, I do not think is it confirmed that it's 4 pulls? I don't think 20k free makes up for having the burst rates, and these were not the exact banners that were in JP. And I think you found the screenshot.
Yeah, they weren't.
Because JP got it was Noctis and Squall, and then it was the equivalent Squall raid EXs on the rest of the Noctis and Squall LD and burst on both banners, and then the rest of the EXs from the raids. Go ahead.
It's nice that they made everybody else, like, all the weapons drop. It's nice that they didn't force more like Gilgamesh, Steiner, and like that crap on us. That's good. Like, I feel like they made improvements and they just missed the mark by indicating like, hey, the rates are lower. But there's also no way for them to say that.
Which is,
I think
they have plausible
that's
deniability.
kind of my issue with it.
Yeah,
because you kind of keeping in mind that right now we're 5 of us are talking on a stream devoted to DFFOO. Like we're kind of all in deep on this. Like I'm thinking about like kind of a relatively casual player. Like I'm thinking like when my wife used to play, she never would have checked it. She never checked the rates.
I never checked rates to begin with. I never would have noticed if nobody said anything.
I assume the rates are going to be like, I assume the rates are fixed. I found out, Star Dash banner 3 times is the chance to get the ABT. That's pretty cool. Like, I found that out, and I'm pretty deep in the weeds there. Like, your average kind of regular player, like assuming they knew, like, okay, if they knew about the free polls, that's something they should have known about from like the notification. But like, you're right, they don't have a way to really say this is lower because that's a shitty thing to. That's a sneaking.
Yes.
That's sneaking a gotcha
And
into a terms and
the
conditions.
precedence
It's like,
has always been the rate of the same kind of weapon stays the same, right? Like if there's multiple of the type of weapon, it's still the same chance to get that weapon. Like, has there been any instance in which that's never been the case?
I don't think so. So yeah, they've meddled with the primordial forces of nature here, haven't they?
I'm
quite dirty.
the
Now
people who
I'm
are going to be
curious.
suffering for the most part are the people who haven't planned, who don't really, they don't use the Nidra's new resource planner.
Oh yeah,
shameless
shout out to
plug.
FFOOtip. I barely use the website, but and Nidra's an asshole, but it's a good site.
But those aren't the people who are going to be hurt by this. The people who are going to be hurt by this are the folks who they don't check the rates, they don't keep up with the stuff. They're just going to kind of get fucked because Square Enix is like, we can pull a fast one on them, and then they do. And that just kind of feels scummy to me.
Yeah, I don't think 20K justifies.
Here's the other thing
stealth
that
change.
that wrecks me is because a lot of people, because it's like daily free pulls, right? A lot of people are calling this generous. Hard disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because here's the thing: they call it a free pull, right? But there's one thing it's buying. It's buying your attention, and you will have to visit the banner pages in order to get this free pull. Your attention is being pulled there. So that's the like whole psychological element. You're more likely to look at other banners. You're more likely to, after the free pull and getting like a 15 CP only, you're more likely to continue pulling, right? These things do happen.
Oh, I have 80 G tokens in this banner. Maybe I should keep going.
Yeah, precisely.
Also, the person talking before Necklord is the great Bl'Artagnan. Drew.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not even sure I was going this.
It's just very weird.
Yeah.
I
don't like the argument that it's generous. I think it's actually the polar opposite. They're buying your attention.
Generally
with these
hate
polls.
the generous thing because it's transactional. Like if we don't play
yeah,
the game, then the
Cynthia
game
helps,
goes
guys.
under. So
Like-
we as consumers should always demand better and call out
it's
things when
also
we think
like-
they're not fair.
It's a gacha. There is
Yeah.
no such thing as a generous gacha.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
it's
it's an awesome
fabrication.
one.
It's
Yeah.
a myth.
That is pure propaganda.
So I feel like it's worth it. It's not necessary to call it generous, but I think it is fair to point out that GL is getting free pulls that JP didn't get, probably, at least on comparable banners. But going back to what Blart said, and he had like we're both I think in the same boat, but like if you as someone that is releasing a product that is releasing that, let's say that the game is a product. If you are adding an aspect to the product that has no good way to market it, you are probably making a mistake. If you are lowering the rates that you communicated in the Squex community stream, which said that they reported, if I remember, they reported the rates. I know they did it in JP. I honestly don't remember GL, but I'm pretty sure they reported it in GL.
I did not.
They didn't? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, I know they reported it for sure in the JP stream.
They do, yes. Correct.
Yeah, so for them to go against that, and if you're doing something that you can't report because it will look bad, maybe don't do that. Like, that's the thing I have a problem with
I just don't see the logic.
from like a product perspective.
It's just all around. It just seems underhanded with a ton of plausible deniability. Just check the rates. I'm not a fan of that.
And if it is just a mistake and the rates are normal, there's probably even worse implications because they're miscommunicating the rates to consumers, which I think is like worse, isn't it? Because of the whole.
It just feels messy all around. I don't really think it's
No,
defensible.
that can't be it, because if the rates were actually 1% for BT, they would have fixed that the next day. They know about the post. Honestly, they knew the feedback was posted about the ticket box having like the issue with the ticket box. That was posted last night and it was already fixed this morning. So if the rates were actually 1%, that would have been fixed on the spot and been like, hey guys, sorry, the rate is correct. It was incorrectly showing in the draw screen. So the rate is for sure correct.
Damn, tragic. We know for sure they're not going to talk about this one. Probably. Oh, actually, let me not say that because they might. I don't expect it because I don't expect anything from corporations. But triple rate is still a gamble. Somebody said something earlier that I wanted to address. Where's Bl'Art is the top avatar on stream.
Where?
He's the one above Ink.
I think they mean why don't I have a cool like sign with an eye patch type thing, and the reason is because you don't want a close up of this doofus that I drew on a sticky note one day when I was bored.
Oh, he meant on the stream thing. Okay, yeah, I didn't know how to. Yeah, I talked about it with Bl'Art today.
I was wondering what it was.
I think it was yesterday. I tell you guys, this is always last minute. that's kind of the appeal, that I don't really plan anything out ever. Like Ink sends me some things we might talk about, and then I say great. And that's about all. And then I show up late generally.
Things in? I didn't know about this shit.
No, that's not how it works.
I can send topics in.
Ultimately, it's whatever the fuck I want to do.
Wait, what?
We've talked about Abyss way more than I wanted to.
Yes, we did, because I wanted to talk about him
I
more.
want to skip the topic. Can we talk about content creator bullying and DFFOO?
No, I have no interest in that
mean,
topic
like,
at all.
Don't touch that. Don't touch that.
In the
You mean
slightest.
like bullying a content creator or being bullied by a content? You know what? Forget it. I don't want to know the answer to that.
Correct.
BC, who does the timestamps? Indolent Lard?
Yes, he's also the goat.
Indolent Lard, I have a request of you when you're listening back to this, or if you're in chat, please let it, like, after we're done talking about Abyss, consider adding the thing that the rest of, like, the typical stream starts at that point.
Wow.
Mino is being censored. I agree.
If Mino wants to talk about some bullshit that I don't want to talk about, then he can start his own fucking YouTube channel. Like I've been telling him for like a year now.
I'll do my own stream right after this. We're
Yes,
talking about
please do. Please do. Do it on someone else's channel, not yours. Not yours. Yeah, go make your own channel, lazy motherfucker. Goddamn.
This bootleg style where we just sort of talk about whatever. It's better that way. You get the raw thoughts and feelings.
Yes, raw.
Of us. So.
Okay, Ink. Was there something you were trying to chime in about? Because I'm starting to not want to stream anymore.
Well, no, because we got everything that I proposed of the banner rates. Abyss, because you wanted to talk. Oh, anyone that compares Garland to Squall.
Dear God.
I looked up internet memes or internet slang for.
Oh no! Never mind. Turn back.
Knuckle dragger.
It's mirror ink. You got to choose between which path you want to go.
I refuse that dichotomy once again.
I mean,
one or the other.
I think I'd rather take Necklord or Bl'Art. And saying I take Necklord is honestly, it should be an insult to you both.
It is.
It is a fair comparison because I'm pretty sure that Garland does get power crept by RNA in a couple of weeks.
I don't know why people are comparing them. They have way more differences than they do similarities. They're both melee attacking black crystal characters.
Excuse you. They have great swords and they have follow-ups. They're both the same.
Great. Character. So for all those orbs that are follow-ups, cool. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So great sword. Okay, fine. That's Abyss relevant. I get it. Fair.
And they spin for some of their attacks.
They what?
Squall spins for his HP plus, and Garland spins for his skill 1.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure
more similarities than you
this
thought. Yeah, look at that.
This is classic BC, and I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, make me.
I'm pretty sure they both learn how to kind of be more open and caring people during the course of their respective stories too.
The thing that drives me nuts is I've been lurking in main. Actually, I don't lurk in main court. I actually hang out in main court, and I like main court. I think it gets a bad rep. I'll just say that. But there's so many people that are like, "Hey, I have Squall, and I'm supposed to skip Garland, right?" That's what I've heard, and that is my problem. Is that these content creators that are putting out, Squall and Garland are similar. People pulled Squall because they have access. New players pulled him because they have access to Start Dash, and they heard all great things about Squall and Cloud and Lightning, and it's a great banner. But now they're like, I'm going to skip Garland because I have Squall. And that is absolutely incorrect.
That's where the takes like that are where the original tier list came from. Just if you compare these things, you look at what they have in common versus what they don't have in common. It's like 2 things in common, like 50 things that they don't have in common. What were you gonna say?
It's kind of funny.
I thought we weren't gonna bully content creators. That's why we didn't go down my route, right?
Shut up. What are you gonna say, Blart?
No, it's funny because I was actually planning to skip Garland because I pulled lightning on the start dash banner because I figured, well, they both delay, and that's pretty much the only thing I need to know about them. But the free pull ended up being generous, but
nice. Can't relate.
Kind of fun. Just kind of funny that the Squall.
Garland's Squall
This is
steroids.
like semi-embarrassing, but
pulled
like
Garland
I
for
was
his
just
Raging Blade. Pause.
Necklord,
Go ahead.
I was like, I pulled Garland when LD when it first came out, and like for some reason I just started single ticket pulling the Garland banner for a bit, and I was like, hold on a minute, I already have the fucking LD. Like, I just had this sudden moment of realization, like, what the
Wait,
fuck
pause.
am
You
I
were
doing?
single ticket pulling?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how smart people pull.
yeah. Mina won me over for a bit. you
Yeah.
know?
10 tickets are for
Busy people.
It's like once I started checking after getting like weapons on the 10 ticket pulls, once I started routinely checking how many tickets I'd wasted every time I did it, I was slowly but surely being won over.
That's
And,
called addiction, Necklord.
I hate both of
Yeah.
you.
You don't even check, you're just pulling.
Not equally. I hate Mino slightly more, but there's
10
hatred.
ticket
Can we
pulls
get
are for idiots. Can we bring this topic back up for another hour?
No,
Because
no.
Can we get an official timestamp on the first time the words ever uttered over the internet, Mino won me over, were chanted?
Oh
by
God,
Necklord just
I need to
now?
take a shower. That's gross.
it's a real argument. Can we all agree? BC, this is exactly what you said. Don't trust corporations. You know, 10 ticket pulls, the house always
Your
wins.
ability to twist words into
The
whatever
house
you want them
always
to mean is incredible, and
Impressive.
I wish I could do that.
Thank you.
It's so powerful, and I'm glad I'm smart enough to call your bullshit out immediately.
I'm the
But
best
goddamn, is it
topic.
annoying? Ugh. I mixed gems and tickets with 10 ticket pulls. Banned. Thanks, Pikachu. DFO Garland.
God.
DFO season 4. Garland with Squall's twin separated at birth.
Yeah. What F2P Whale said. Anyone who saved the 28 free pulls, the golden tickets for the anniversary month, you're my real hero. Like, if you guys could take a screenshot of that, somebody did that in our Discord server. That's impressive. That's
Quetz did
real.
it.
That's real.
Oh.
Fuck Quetz. That's real crazy. Like, whew, Jesus.
Good lord. Okay, definitely starting to spin down now. BC down bad from using Elden Arse. That's real. I'm never using his bitch ass again until his burst cycle. If there's some challenge quests, miss me with that bullshit. Okay,
That's even with
closing
the-
thoughts,
with the
guys. No,
changes.
shut up. Closing thoughts. You're 20 minutes over.
Closing thoughts, guys. After this, meet me at the TCC Twitch channel. Where we're going to talk about bullying content creators and all of that drama. So see you guys there in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, go over there. Where Mino can get himself in trouble. Blart, last thoughts?
I mean, I still don't know if he means bullying content creators or content creators.
Don't
bullying,
entertain
but
it.
I guess
Don't entertain it. So keep going.
Anyway, yeah, I guess final thoughts.
bullshit on
Dualahan
my
sucks. Garland's pretty awesome. The future looks bright.
I see. Necklord?
I'm really looking forward to fighting Dullahan's for the rest of time. Leave Abyss alone. It's a sacred cow. Fucking stop ruining it. Thank you, Square Enix. I love you.
It's already ruined.
I see. Ink?
FFOOtip.com. Please go to it. Nidre did an awesome site with the planner. You can plan, more importantly, you can forecast your BT tokens so you can see the next time you're going to cap on BT tokens and where it's around, which is why I know that I'm going to get 50 tokens at the XStat BT, which is right after Yuna, so that I guarantee that I will get Yuna with BT tokens. Super good feeling, so I definitely recommend checking out that site. He
If
did a
you're
really,
extra
really good job
compulsive,
with it.
you'll love it.
No, even if it's actually less compulsive, I find, than the spreadsheet that I did. So I think it's way easier to use, and it works on mobile in a great way. Whereas our previous planner for planning your gems and tickets and which banners you're going to pull Like it was you could not use Google Sheets is awful on mobile. So yeah, I think it came out really, really well. So I think people should check it out, please.
To add to that, though, Ink and BC, is that 110% of the people who use resource planners get a lot of pull anxiety and freak out when they have to deviate and pull Mog for an Abyss
This is
Lufania
science.
fight. So I do not advocate resource planners. It'll only make you
you'll go down the deep dark path of making spreadsheets for a mobile
Thank
game.
you, BC. BC agrees. If you start planning your shit 8 months in
Planners
advance,
are choosing violence in nerd form.
like Nidre created this thing of pure evil where you
Yes,
plug in your
he's
current
actually evil.
resources. You plug in your current resources, and then you see how many resources you'll have in 8 months. And then if that changes at all, if you deviate from your plan at all, that's all you think about. Like, ask Jin Lee.
No.
Jin Lee
No.
doesn't.
All it's going to do is make you paranoid, which is it's going to be a funny social experiment. So actually use it. I want to see you all suffer.
But if you're gonna use a planner, I guess use Nidre's.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
It fully endorsed.
The planner allows you to maintain this. Okay, sorry, this is going deep, and I know BC wants to spin down. The planner
If we're gonna make
allows
fun of
you
Nidre,
to
I'll stick
maintain
around.
a healthy relationship with the game, so that you don't overpull, so that you don't stress yourself out, and you know
Ooh.
that you can afford to easily migrate from your pull plan and pull somebody else. It allows you to do that much more easily.
Planning pulls is like scheduling sex.
Mino being against planned polls is like it's because he's a gem millionaire like the ever equal. Yes, Mino's trying to get everyone to spend and so he can have the biggest amount of gems and win Dissidia. I disagree with Ink saying you can live less stress free because you're gonna be visiting your fucking planner every day trying to make sure you have the right exact amount of gems. That's a lot of added stress. It's an unreadable site. Well, the creator's in the chat, so say all the horrible things you want about the chat and how horrible of a person he is.
By the way,
mean,
that's
the
how you
thing.
do an analogy.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry,
It was actually funny.
Go ahead,
I
Blur.
appreciate all the work. Sorry, I appreciate all the work that Nidra put into it because he was working on it for a long time. Looks like it's a pretty impressive product he put together. Just from what I've observed of Nidra, I don't think he has any of our best interests at heart.
No, never.
And so I'm just naturally kind of suspicious of him. I'm just like, what angle is this going to do to kind of what's your game here, my man?
Oh, it's always violence.
Maxwell says, imagine planning all your future polls based on entropy fights. I'm glad no one did that ever. Agreed. Like, I agree
4K.
with Maxwell calling out all the
4K.
photos. You guys are disgusting if you
4K.
do that.
The joke is that Mino did that obsessively. He's the most obsessive person in this chat. He's
And
just
then
projecting
I
hard
learned-
right now.
And then I
He
learned
didn't
how
learn
stupid that
anything.
was.
And he didn't learn
I learned
anything.
how stupid that was, so I stopped using planners. Are we done?
Step on me like Lady Demetrius, whatever from... I didn't give my closing thoughts. So, in conclusion, the entire Abyss doesn't suck, but I think that the Lufenia does, and I wish that they would balance it better and actually play test it so that it's an enjoyable experience for even the devs, because I'm sure this fight feels like they didn't try it all, and I expect better from them. The Vincent Abyss, I think, was the best Abyss Lufenia to date, and that was by nature of the orb not sucking. So, yeah, hopefully they take this feedback and don't actually copy-paste fights that are still active right now. I think that was the icing on the cake. And these banners are insulting too, and I didn't enjoy it at all. And hopefully that Square Enix hears that.
BC, do you agree that, since everyone in chat said it, like, they repeated fights in the Abyss that are kind of, like, here and permanent, like, would it be better if they did, like, temporary event fights that weren't coming back anytime soon? Because the Balthier fight was the Beatrix LC, so that's always around, right? And then this one is the Chapter Lufania. That's always around. What if they did, like, a temporary, like a raid or something, like Kaiser Behemoth Lufania tweaked for Abyss?
That would be infinitely better just because the orb isn't nearly as bad as water.
Because then what it would do is, because Kaiser Behemoth is basically like a very short event, this would put a permanent version in the game, right? Like Necklord, would you guys be more okay with that?
Wait, you're saying? Hold on. they have a. You're saying Square Enix have a deep well of fights that aren't active right now that they could just pull from and make interesting fights
Or maybe
with.
grab them from farther in the future, but scale the stats down. I mean, it's just the
they-
fact
they-
that
they
this current
always
fight was
fuck
just
up when
active.
they do that. That's what
Okay,
happens
you know what the
early
solution to
tech.
that is? That's an easy solution. Don't fuck up.
That's asking a lot. Are you serious?
Yes,
I'm pretty
I
sure-
am. I am
pretty sure-
demanding a higher standard.
I'm pretty sure the entire GL dev team is Square Enix Joshua, Square Enix Crystal, and like one intern.
I see.
They have an intern. They should be able to make this work.
I see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the matter. I'm not gonna re-record that bullshit because I hate using Eldnarsh.
Wait, that's a team of 3 people though, so that's like one person to copy, one person to paste. But what does the third guy do?
What else was I gonna say? Oh, this is what I was gonna say too. I'm gonna try and stream my JP retros because I just can't sit down and do them. My attention span is so shit nowadays. I can't write anything. Nothing's getting done. So I'm just gonna start streaming more, but maybe more discussion focused. So stay tuned for that. Eventually, I am telling Square Enix to get good. I demand a better product. I think that's reasonable as a consumer. Premium intern, simp army. Okay, this is getting hideous. I'm gonna cut the stream. Anybody else got anything?
No,
Thanks for
I-
having me,
Cool.
Kat.
All
We're
right.
streaming this on Monday next Monday.
Not me. Okay, if you're watching the VOD, if you ain't subscribed or liked the video or whatever, please do that. And everyone in the chat, thanks for showing up. Thank you, Dres64 and Silicons for donating during the stream. I very much appreciate it. Y'all are the goats. Have a good night. This has been the Ranting Hour and a Half. Follow Bl'Artagnan on YouTube, by the way. I'll link that in the post video as well. I saw your video got a lot of love recently that I shouted out, so it's a good thing when that happens.
that was all you, man. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
It was. I was laughing my ass off because I don't know how to spell this fucking name. Bl'Artagnan. It's actually. Oh god, I actually don't know how to spell it. Look at my community post. Go follow him. If you're subscribed to me and you're not subscribed to him, I hate you.